Okay, it's a 2001 Mercedes SLK 320, the V6 engine. The 6 CD disc player. I have to figure out how that's supposed to sit in there. It's just sort of laying in there. I'm thinking it's got hydraulics. You see these spots? And you see this tube here? It's oily. That means hydraulics. It's on both sides, so that's not a good sign. Tires are good. The exhaust is good. Wife finally went for a ride in it, topless, which was amazing. She usually doesn't like much, but she liked the ride of this car because this is a smooth ride. This compared to a Miata, it's heavier with a V6 engine, so it's much more fun. Thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment. All right, what I want to do is jack this car up to look at the windshield washer fluid reservoir, which is you have to take that tire off, the front right tire off. Then you got to take the inner skin of the fender off to look at the windshield washer fluid reservoir. Because I put water, or I put windshield washer fluid in it and just drained right out. And if you look, it goes right into the fender. And of course, my jack doesn't fit under the car. Unbelievable. So I'm gonna have to jack it up by popping this off here, just popping out a screwdriver and using their archaic jack, and then getting my bigger jack under there. So of course, wedge the tires in the back, then I have to take that tire off and take the fender off. The inner skin of the fender off anyway. So stay tuned, folks. Let's see how this works out. Because I'm really not liking this at all. Because I don't want to do damage to it. And Mercedes, of course, they want you to take anything wrong, take it to the dealership, and they can charge you thousands. But that's not me. So stay tuned. We'll see how it goes. Okay, part 2. I've got the jack in. Jacking it up a bit. I should be able to get my jack under there. Of course, you put wedges under the tires. Make sure. Safety, 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 always. I got it on the front and the back of that tire. Just spare pieces of wood. Just to check the reservoir. Unbelievable. But I guess a lot of mechanics say they don't like working on German cars because they're just engineered tight. And this is a small, compact car. I think that's what the SLK stands for. Small, lightweight, and compact. So, to deal with the looks, you got to deal with the issues. But stay tuned. We'll see what that reservoir looks like if I can get to it. Hate to pay my mechanic to do it. Alright, this is what I came up with. I used the jack that the car comes with to jack it up a bit so that my jack could fit underneath the rubber. There's a little rubber booty underneath where their jack goes. And I put a board there, so now I got it high enough where I can use my jack to lift it up a little higher. Then I'll loosen up the lug nuts on the tire, pull that off, and see if I can pull the skin of the inside fender off, just to look at the reservoir and hope it's an easy fix. Okay, I've got it high enough. I'm just leaving both jacks in there, just being careful. Of course, those lug nuts were real tight. If I ever had a flat tire, it'd be extremely hard without that pry bar that I could put on it, that extension, which is nothing but a pipe I put on there. Because, you know, pay attention when auto shops, they use those hydraulic guns. Sometimes they put them on way too tight for an average person. Can't just loosen them up, so you have to get service. But a little ingenuity. Let's see if the tire should come off now. I'll see what it takes to get that skin off the inside of the fender. All right, this is a Mercedes 2001 SLK 320. Passenger side right wheel well. Okay, I don't know if you can see that little bolt there, nut, and what, two there. And I gotta take that off to access the windshield washer reservoir. So stay tuned. It's always good to take your car apart a little bit to see what's going on. And that's my contraption to get my jack under there, because I didn't really want to work on it with just their jack. And of course, safety, wedge the back tires. You know, some need a persuasion bar to get those lug nuts off. Always keep your work area fairly clean, because dirt is your worst enemy. There's the tire. I'll probably clean it up before I put it back on. But stay tuned to see if I can fix the reservoir, windshield washer reservoir. But the fender doesn't look too bad. It sure is hot out here. But there's all the nuts I took off. Try to keep it clean. There's the inner fender. You know, this little trap door is to get at that light fixture in there. And there's the reservoir. If you can see it, the sun is so bright here. And it's hot in the Carolinas. But I'm gonna put water in there, see where the leak is, and see if I can fix it. I don't think it should be that hard. Or am I gonna have to go to a junkyard and try to find that part? Stay tuned. Okay, we're still checking on that reservoir. I put water in it. It's not filled. And we got water leaking. And it comes to the top. But I'll take the reservoir off. It's just one bolt, maybe. And see what we got there. It's definitely leaking. All right, now you know why mechanics don't like working on German vehicles. I had to go through all this. It's a 2001 Mercedes SLK 320 with a heater for the windshield washer fluid. Problem is this motor right here, because juice comes to this piece here and this doesn't work. So you had to take off the wheel, take off the inside fender skin, take out the windshield washer reservoir, and it's embedded on the inside of the windshield washer fluid inside the fender. I don't know if you can see, but I've got the inside the fender. Unbelievable. But that's why they don't like working on these cars. It takes a lot of time. It's taking me all day. And of course, I'm just a Saturday night mechanic or Saturday evening mechanic. Well, this is real life mechanics. This Saturday, I took out the windshield washer reservoir. See right there? That's the heating element. And I checked the electrical. It has voltage, so it's not the fuse, which I'm just impressed with this German engineering. First time I had this car, Mercedes. But here's the fuse box. Everything's labeled. It's color coded, numbered. It's German precision. And they even gave you a tool to pull the fuses and whatever tools you might need to work on this car. In a little tool bag in the trunk, which I've been using. You know, the jack. But you know, the reservoir inside the fender, which is amazing. But I took it all apart, I pulled it out, and the problem is the windshield washer pump. So it's gonna rain tomorrow, so I'm gonna have to put this car back together, or not all the way together, but I'll put the tire back on because I'm not leaving it all jacked up, and put the top on, and ordered the pump off Amazon, so it should be here Monday. And I'm hoping for the console parts to come in too that I'm waiting on, because I got the top piece, but the ashtray in the center bottom shifter piece, I'm gonna go black, carbon black, replace all that cracked up, broken stuff. But car will slowly get back together. I just hate wasting a lot of time, but it's amazing how this car is put together, and YouTube's a beautiful thing to get the information from. But thumbs up, subscribe, and this is Real Life Mechanics. If you had to pay a Mercedes dealership to do this, it'd be a few $100. In reality, it took me all day, but the part's like $9 for a windshield washer pump. But I'm slow. Alright, this is how you're going to jack up Mercedes SLK 320. This is 2001. Because I can't get my big jack under this car. Because, you can see, it won't clear. So I'm going to use their jack, which you got to get it in that hole, like that. And crank it up. Like that. Now I can get mine under here, and you see, if you can see that rubber grommet under there. You see, that's where I'll put my jack, under there. Once I perfect it a little bit, then I can jack the car up, and I can take the front tire off and work on that reservoir that's inside the fender. Because I bought my new part, which is the pump. You see how it's embedded inside the fender? Well, it's inside the reservoir, and the reservoir goes like, let's see, in the car like this maybe? Get it. So that's the reservoir, and I believe it goes something like maybe this, inside the fender. That's the nozzle. The heater goes in here, and that's the pump. That's going to be against the fender wall. Ingenious contraption. I'm just hoping it all works. Okay, this is why mechanics don't like working on these German cars. This is a feat of pure ingenuity. You can see the lines. This is the reservoir. It goes inside the fender like this. I don't know if you can see that hose up there, and that connects to this. And the pump I just replaced is inside the fender. It's inside this plastic that's inside the fender well, which is, they use every little bit of space on this car. Okay, so this is where that reservoir goes. The electrical and the lines are on this side and go up through. Of course, there's the water lines. Hopefully this helps somebody out there, because I'm just learning as I go. And, you know, I'm nothing great, but I don't mind tinkering. It's an expensive toy to play with. But this is how you learn, folks. Try by doing. Okay. So the windshield washer reservoir is back in. You can see how it fits in there. And it does work. Placing that pump, you know, I'll put all these videos together, but it's amazing. German engineering, not fun. That's why people need to learn mechanics. You know, I used to teach it in high school. I don't know about nowadays, but you know, or you can pay hundreds of dollars to a dealership, or learn to do stuff yourself. That's where kids need to stop playing video games and get their hands dirty. Thumbs up, subscribe. And you know, because you feel pretty proud of yourself when you accomplish something. That's now the windshield washer fluid does work. One less thing for my mechanic to have to do. As I put this thing back together, I have to do is, okay, remember, nut here, 1, 2, yeah, that's 3, if you can see it. Got one here, 4. Then underneath, there's one underneath, one underneath here. So that's what's good about doing your own work, is you don't lose screws. And when you make videos and take pictures, you know, you remember where everything goes back. That's why YouTube is a beautiful thing, folks. Hopefully this video helps folks. So if it helps you, help me. Thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment. Appreciate it. Thanks. All right, there's more marvels of German engineering. These lug nuts screw right into here, the tire. The American cars, the way they used to be, the studs would stick out, and you'd put a lug nut on top of the stud that was sticking out. Compared to the Germans, where this whole thing just screws right into the wheel. Now, think about World War II, folks. How the hell did we win? Imagine Chevys and Dodges and Fords, tanks, going against Porsches and Mercedes. The Germans are smart folks. And just remember, Einstein was German. A Jewish German. One of the smartest people on this planet. I don't know, something, the light shines bright on Germany. It's got nothing to do with religion and all that other nonsense, but thumbs up, subscribe. I appreciate it. Let me put the tire on, and the wheel well socket's finished. It's put back together. It's always good to get underneath and take videos and look at your car, because you learn every time you take something apart and put it back together.